what is it about lyrics or writing songs that kind of, affects you the most about other artists? You could talk about that artist that really kind of makes you want to do this, or anything you want to talk about.
First and foremost, just to show you how much I feel, how important I think writing is. It's a big reason why my name is Donny Goines. For those who don't know, Donny Goines was a famous urban novelist, and he's written a lot of books, and I've read majority of them way before rap, before I even started rapping. So I've always been into literacy, and as far as like writing, I've always been the kind of person that I just love to write, regardless of rap music. I'm just one of the kind of people, I've always been writing down my thoughts and writing things down. So with that being said, the transition to just being, a regular Joe Schmo or whatever into an artist, it really wasn't a hard transition for me. It was very natural, and the process really didn't seem that hard to do. But I'm very, very meticulous with my writing, period. Right now I'm working on a new album, for example. I'm working on a new album, and I'm rewriting verses. I'm shifting things around. I'm doing a lot of different things that just really, I would say, is attention to detail at the end of the day. I think like writing is very important. It's an important aspect. I hear a lot of artists sometimes, they'll say things like, oh, I don't write. I go in the booth and I just say things, and that's good for you, buddy. It's not my thing. I'm very like meticulous with my words, and I can choose every single word that I put in a song. I want to make sure that it means something, that makes sense. I think that we missing that in this day and age. A lot of artists, they don't really understand the craft. They don't really take it as seriously as a person like myself. And I can go on and on about this subject of writing, so I'm kind of vague. So you ask me a specific question.
No, I'm good. But this is what I want to do, because like I said, like what sets what I'm about to do apart from other people, the average person. Even they say, okay, let me put up a review, and this is my opinion about what I think about this mixtape or this album.
Yeah.
The thing is that, as we all know, like pretty much I come from a background more of the, the A&R side, and I started out doing it myself. So we're going to segue into me asking you something specific about, your, like, I guess you would put it under the category of tips. So I'm going to say this. All right. So when you're in the booth, for any, aspiring rap artists, any aspiring R&B writers, artists, whatever case may be, what do you think is most important, or where do you place it in terms of importance when you're in the booth, from your cadence, like your delivery, breathing? Is it more about kind of being in the flow of the track, what kind of comes in the category of cadence? But what would you say is like the single most important thing for yourself, that when you're recording a song and you have a track, whether it's a track you got a beat to, a couple of months ago, like somebody gave you a beat, or what?
First and foremost, I think preparation is first agenda. Like, that's number one. You need to be prepared before you go in any studio. A lot of artists make the mistake of going to studios unprepared, meaning they don't have songs written already, or they don't have verses written, and they go there try to wing it, and that really never works. I mean, even me on a professional level, which I feel I'm at right now, it's not even an assumption. I am writing at professional level at this point, and it's very strategic. Like when I go in there, it's like going to a job. You don't go to your work without your uniform. You don't go to your job without certain tools. Why would you do the same thing in music? Sometimes I do write on cue, but that's because I've had years of practice. I'm able to do that, and it takes time to really craft that. Like if you listen to a lot of artists, like I'm just going to touch a little bit on what I'm talking about now. Like if you listen to certain artists, newer artists, you'll notice that it seems like they're almost reading. Like they're not delivering, they're reading their lyrics, and that comes due of lack of preparation. They're not really prepared, so they go in there and they don't really understand. They're just reading it off of BlackBerry, or they're reading it off of whatever, And my thing is, if you know that you're gonna do a session at a certain time, you should have certain things prepared. Period. Now, jumping fast forward into the session, let's say you are prepared and you got your wordplay together, whatever the case may be. I definitely would suggest, if you have the ability, to demo things first. There's nothing wrong with demoing. I mean, I'm working on the album right now and everything is demoed. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just hashing my ideas out, and I'm playing with flows and deliveries and rewriting verses and doing a lot of different things with it. You know, like I said again, I'm very meticulous when it comes to my writing, and even I'm very meticulous to the point where it's like I critique a ad-lib. Like I'll be like, that don't belong there, I'll take that out. You know, so it's just very serious. And you know, I definitely feel like once you have everything prepared from that angle, as far as the actual, you know, you got the song down, the words are ready and everything, that's when you go to deliver the song. You go to the studio, you have to, I tell people all the time, it's like you have to imagine yourself performing the song in the booth. It's not just you sitting there, I'm cool and I'm this and I'm like, I'm telling you, people think I be bugging when I record sometimes when they look at me, because it's like I'm literally performing, like I'll be in it like because that's how I'm envisioning the verse or the record. I feel as if performance and delivery are key. I mean, even though this is about writing, you know, if you don't have your writing, if you don't deliver what you write, defeats the purpose. Mm-hmm. So you could write some of the greatest shit on earth. If you don't deliver it, the message is gonna get lost. So I think, in all honesty, like, you just have to be very well prepared. Make sure that you have the lyrics corrected or however you wanted them to be finalized, and go in there and sell me. You know, go in there and deliver that motherfucker.
That's what's up.
Or
so I appreciate your time today. Anything you want to talk about? Shout outs, any projects? You say you're working on an album. You want to give like a little teaser about when?
Fuck all that. We gonna talk. We gonna talk about y'all and writing. I want to go more into this shit. So fuck it. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Like, I am very adamant on writing. Like, there's no question about it. If you ever ask me to do a record, if I'm ever have a song I gotta do for a company or corporation, whatever, anything, I'm writing it all down. And I'm stressing to you guys, man, like, Jay-Z is Jay-Z, alright? Like, Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne. You're not them. Be you. You know what I'm saying? And, like, focus, write your shit down, write shit that makes sense, and do the best that you can with it. Like, I really am not an advocate of people who say things like, oh, I go in there and I rap, I go off the vibe. I feel like, you ain't that hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that takes something that's like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of Jay-Z, but sometimes I don't even believe he does that. Like, I'm like, come on, like, it's crazy. So, and if he does, I mean, you know, kudos to that man. But my thing is that you have to really be meticulous, and I can't stress that enough. Please be meticulous with your writing and focus on writing quality music. The music these days is lacking. You know, there's a lot of misrepresentation of the music, and not only in hip hop, but also in R&B, rock, any other genre you can think of. There's just a lot of like subpar music out there. So I just want to say, that's the only thing I really want to say before I leave, is just make sure that you write in high quality.